everybody. I want to welcome you to Here's the Deal. This commentary today is coming really to you from a place in South Carolina. It used to be Heritage Village, and once a year for probably about 25 years, there's a group of wonderful servant leaders that come together to discuss the issues of today. We want to be sons of Issachar, who, as the Bible says, they were with David and they understood the times with knowledge of what to do. And there's a lot of issues, but one issue that is always central. And for all of us, there's an election coming. We have candidates, smooth talking, seducing, whatever. But at the core, are we going to respect human life? And will we protect the unborn? And I want to challenge you as you listen today and as you hear the podcast, that you will be an activist, winsomely, but confidently and boldly, speaking up for the unborn. And we have a very special friend of mine and guest that's at the round table, and she's going to tell us a little bit what's going on in my home state of Ohio, and let your face be built so that you know God's at work and he's going to use you in this particular mission to save the unborn.
I come to you from the state of Ohio, where the motto is, with God, all things are possible. And the question is really, do you believe that or not? Do you believe God is everything he claims to be, or don't you? And the way you can determine the answer to that question is by your actions, because actions are what you believe, everything else is religious talk. So here's the deal. If with God all things are possible, well, then that includes the end of abortion. Even though they said it was impossible, I'm telling you that what was once impossible is now inevitable. God put an idea in my heart now 10 years ago that said, listen, if we can't rescue every child out of a burning building, let's get as many as we can. Let's protect every child whose heartbeat can be heard. It's called the Heartbeat Bill. And it simply says, if a heartbeat is detected, the baby is protected. Very simple. It basically says, hey, you know what? Let's recognize the universally recognized, universally acknowledged symbol of life as we would with anybody else, with any adult, with any child. That's why we have monitors in hospitals that show whether or not someone's alive based on their heartbeat. If there's a heartbeat, there's life. We all know that. That's why we instinctively check for a pulse. We don't just have funerals for people. We make sure they're alive or not. You've never been to a funeral with somebody with a beating heart. That's why when we did a Barna poll, we found that 89%, so 89% of Republicans favor that if a doctor's able to detect the heartbeat of an unborn child, that child should be legally protected. 7 out of 10 across America, and here's the shocking thing, 55% of even Democrats. That's why you see the Democrats are so far outside of the even their own base. They want to kill children till birth and beyond. Are you kidding me? That's not where America is. And so we're just saying if a heartbeat's detected, the baby's protected. We introduced the bill in Ohio. It has now been introduced, it's now signed into law in Ohio, and nine states total. It's been introduced in 25 states. In fact, we saw more pro-life legislation in the first 6 months of last year, really, that did more to protect children than we've seen in the last 47 years in America. I mean, think about this. You had Alabama's full protection law. We saw Mississippi, Louisiana, Missouri. We saw Kentucky, Ohio. This is what's happening. And there are so many other states that are keyed up, getting ready to go. This is the time. What's been missing from the pro-life movement really is something that we've just kind of conceded that, I guess we'll just manage abortion. We'll just regulate around the edges. No. What we needed was a clear path to victory, and that's what the Heartbeat Bill would do. We had pro-aborts come in and testify and say, this will end all abortions. Well, you know what? It may very well be that abortionists are not going to stay open for a fraction of their business. They're motivated by money. And it may very well close them down, and I can't wait. So we've introduced a bill not only in 25 states, there's also one pending in Congress. As soon as we get the majority back, we're going to see if they'll actually take advantage of the opportunity that they passed on last time around. I think it's what cost them the majority. They didn't do what we elected them to do. Too many times candidates make pro-life promises that they do not keep. But we need to make sure we keep them. And a man that's keeping his word, quite frankly, the example to the country is President Trump. That's it. He is standing for life. He is standing boldly for life, and that's why we need to stand for him. He is the guy that is going to finish the job. Not only did he put 2 pro-lifers on the U.S. Supreme Court, he has stacked the courts now to a place where the left-leaning Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, they're scared to death that we put on 1/3 of their active judges right now with 10 Trump appointees. We're seeing more Trump appointees being put on the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals in Ohio. You gotta be excited about something. They just handed down a Kentucky case from the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals that listed unborn child in their case about 30 times. They've also declared and confirmed another case that said that the unborn child is a unique, distinct, individual human life from the moment of conception. So what we're doing is we're shooting the arrow, and it's going to the heart of Roe versus Wade. This is what I believe. The heartbeat bill will pierce the heart of Roe versus Wade and bring the killing to an end. It's time. It's time to do what we've been marching about, we've been talking about, debating about, we've been electing about. You know what? It's time to quit regulating around the edges of abortion. I'm for that. In fact, I was a part of that establishment. Worked to pass all those incremental bills: parental consent, woman's right to know, fetal homicide. I even lobbied to pass the nation's first ban on partial birth abortion. But you know what? Dr. Wilkie, the founder of the National Right to Life movement, said it this way. He said that approach did not get us far enough, fast enough. Where we are right now, we've got a body count of 60 million innocent children, and we're killing them a million a year. It's just under a million, but when you count states that don't do abortion reporting, like California, we're killing well over 1 million children every year. I mean, you can call organizations whatever you want, but if you've got a track record of a body count of 60 million and 1 million more casualties every single year, you can call them a lot of things, but success would not be one of them. And if we want different results, we're going to need to try a different approach. And that's really what the heartbeat bill is. It's a bill that says, listen, we're gonna heed that SOS from inside the womb. We're going to quit ignoring the heartbeat of a child in the womb. In fact, what we did is we actually brought in the youngest to ever testify. We rolled in a mobile ultrasound into Ohio, into Congress, and we showed that baby in the womb. Oh, they didn't like it. Oh, they were going crazy and saying, Janet and her gimmicks and tactics, and but isn't it sad that to defend your position, you have to run away from science, you have to deny science and run away from technology? I'll tell you one more secret is when we brought in that unborn baby, 18-week-old unborn baby Lincoln, in the U.S. House Judiciary Committee, the subcommittee hearing the bill in Congress, the room was filled with, the disruptors that were there, and they were antagonistic, but when that baby's heartbeat was seen and heard in that committee room, the room was silent. And one of the protesters was seen wiping tears from both their eyes. And that's when I realized that this heartbeat of this baby can reach even the hardest of hearts. And if the heartbeat of that unborn child that's beating like an SOS, if it can reach even the hardest of hearts, it can reach America. And that's what it's doing. And it's taking America by storm. It's taking the nation of the world by storm, because I met with countries in Asia, met with members of the Knesset in Israel. We met with a day talking about a heartbeat bill that they're looking to introduce in Japan. And that's it. We're going to keep hearts beating. You can be a part of it, and it's exciting. I've got a book coming out in May, A Heartbeat Away, and we're gonna equip people to do what 9 states and counting so far have done, while 25 are getting ready. You can join the effort to bring the killing finally to an end in almost every case for every child whose heartbeat can be heard.